My name is Kimberly Richards. I live at 815 Heron Drive in Picayune, Mississippi, which is about 45 minutes north of the city of New Orleans. I was leaving Philadelphia on Monday, August 29th, going to a meeting in New York at Fordham University. Ride from Philadelphia on the train Monday morning to the 10 or 11 o'clock meeting, was glued to the radio listening to the news. For I have many over 31st and 2nd cousins that live in New Orleans, and for a lot of them here, it was a day like today. It was a beautiful day that Sunday before, and if you were not listening to the radio or the television, which a couple of my cousins weren't, they had a cookout on that Sunday. They really weren't planning to leave, but because my mother was listening to the news in Pennsylvania, she called my aunt and my cousins and said, please leave, and they in fact did. So it was my neighbors that let me know the damage that my home sustained, and I was able to get them on the phone about a week after the storm. So for a week, I didn't know where a lot of people were. I didn't know the condition of my home. And so it wasn't until October that I got here and my cell phone was able to see it, because, you know, we had Katrina and we had Rita right after. So I was on my way here when my cousin said, don't come, Rita's on the way, we're not sure which way it's going to hit. So it wasn't until early October that I made it down here to see for myself what was going on, and that's when I found the tree on the roof, and then came inside and saw the tree in the house. Well, the biggest thing that stayed with me was when they started tracking the storm. This town of Picayune is in Pearl River County, and it's named Pearl River County because of the river that runs through it. And so when the trajectory of the storm was where it was and it started moving north, the water was pulling it in. So a lot of the wind came right through this county. I also kept looking at places in New Orleans, like the Circle Food Store on the corner of St. Bernard and Claiborne, that they showed a picture of, that it's like a circle, and then around it has arches, and the water was like almost up to the arches. So I started thinking about our office. I started thinking about all the people that I knew that lived in that neighborhood, and also then started seeing that there wasn't any, that people were being called refugees and there wasn't any recovery. You know, that people weren't being picked up, people were on rooftops. I think that the American people have responded in a way far greater than the American government. And if it wasn't for the volunteers, really from around the world, you know, my gratitude is with the American people, not our government. FEMA's a four-letter word to me. I'd say it's Mississippi today, it's Massachusetts tomorrow. I'd say that Massachusetts has a coastal just like Mississippi does. And there are places that I've been in Massachusetts that look just like Mississippi. And so I say that we need to, around this country, not see Mississippi and Louisiana as an isolated case. We need to be able to connect the dots between what happened here and what we want to make sure doesn't happen in our own communities. The other thing I would say, you know, what we used to say in the 60s is, so goes the South, so goes the rest of this country. Right? Many people said right after the storm that it would take it's a 10-year effort, and that is true. I believe that. It is a 10-year effort. So we are 3 years or 3.5 years in. And so being 3.5 years in, you know, I would say that many people who have studied the tsunami and similar disasters say that the dust doesn't start settling after the first, it takes about 3 years for the dust to start settling and people to start seeing their way clear. You know, I would say that Katrina and Rita exposed structural inequity, institutional racism that is a part of the foundation of this country. But I think we have an opportunity. I think Katrina gives us an opportunity to look at that institutional racism, to look at structural inequities, to be strong enough and bold enough and human enough to rebuild in a much more humane and just way. That if you come to help me, I don't need your help, but if you come because you realize that your destiny is tied with mine, then we can do something together.